All right, thanks, AC. Today marks World AIDS Day. And here in Indianapolis, artists and activists are shining a spotlight on the ongoing fight against the disease. They tell News 8's Kat Sandoval that there's more work to stop the stigma.
Because this was originally targeted as a gay disease, people say, well, I'm not gay, I'm not getting it.
While HIV infections decrease in the United States, it's still a persistent problem. The CDC estimated more than 31,000 people were diagnosed in 2022. Gay and bisexual men are more likely to be diagnosed, but anyone can contract the disease.
I think that's probably the most important thing of World AIDS Day is to remember those that we've lost. I think the other reason that it's important is to keep the disease and those living with the disease in front of the general public, just as a continuing way to educate people.
On display at the Indianapolis Public Library are photographs of 25 HIV-positive Indianapolis residents and their stories. Photographer Todd Fuqua says it's a movement for others to celebrate their lives and resilience over the stigma.
There were people that this was the first time that they were publicly sharing their HIV status. For me, those were the more powerful moments, was actually motivating someone to take that step and go public with their status, because there still is a lot of stigma. There is still, a lot of misunderstanding, so people were really vulnerable in sharing their stories.
The CDC says treatment can prevent the spread of HIV. Michael Swinford has seen the devastating effects of AIDS for years, particularly at its height in the 80s.
Years went by and started losing friends here locally, especially. And then it's lost a boyfriend, lost a couple boyfriends, or somebody that you knew from years ago.
When he was first diagnosed, some doctors said Swinford didn't have much time. But Swinford is about to celebrate another birthday, and he encourages others who are diagnosed to stop hiding.
There are places now. There's lots of people you can talk to. There's, whether it be churches or the Damien Center or Step Up, anybody, there are people out there.
Some have taken action, even attempting to change laws to stop the stigma.
So we've been working with lawmakers over the last several years to modernize these laws and reform Indiana's laws that criminalize people living with HIV. We just want to bring them up to reflect advances in modern science.
It's against the law to spit on a person in the state, battery by bodily fluid. This crime becomes a felony if you have HIV, despite the fact that the disease cannot be passed through saliva, only blood, sexual fluids, and sharing of contaminated needles.
So I'm singled out under Indiana law for harsher punishments and penalties solely because of my health condition, and that basically adds to HIV stigma.
At the end of the day, the activists, survivors, attendees, and artists want one message to come through.
Folks living with HIV are people. They deserve the same amount of compassion, the same level of humanity as anyone else.
For those who want to check out the photo exhibit, it will be on display at the Indianapolis Public Library at their Central Library location from now until December 29th. I'm Kat Sandoval, WishTV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.